Krishna, he didn't need the cloud of rain, because he is the personification of the ocean of mercy. He is Karuna Sindhu himself. So when Krishna himself is present, there was no need for any cloud, any rain cloud to be there as a via media from this ocean of mercy to pour down upon the forest fire. We all know that pastime, how beautifully Krishna extinguished the forest fire and protected all the Brajabasis. We all know that the day on which Krishna subdued the great serpent, Kaliya, on that day when, after because the entire, the way the entire day started, was that Krishna found out that the poisonous, effects of Kaliya was poisoning the cool and beautiful waters of the Jamuna. And the cows and calves who were drinking that, water from that particular tract were leaving their body. They were dying immediately. Even the cowherd boys were getting afflicted by drinking the poisonous waters of the Jamuna because of Kaliya, because he was emanating all of his poison into the beautiful waters of the fresh waters of the Jamuna. So Krishna, in order to subdue Kaliya, we know how he jumped off from the Kadamba tree and he jumped into the Jamuna. He went down to Kaliya and he fought with Kaliya. Krishna completely subdued the ego of Kaliya. He did not kill Kaliya. Krishna did not kill Kaliya. Krishna just subdued him. Krishna was just able to only, take away his ego, just completely subdue him and grant him the benediction to award his life back. Why? Because Krishna was requested by the Kaliya Patnis, the wives of Kaliya. They came and begged at the lotus feet of Krishna that, Krishna, please do not kill our husband. We will be left shelterless. So please have mercy on us and do not kill our husband. And Krishna very mercifully, Krishna is Sharanagata Vatsala. Anybody who takes shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna never returns them empty-handed. So when Kaliya saw that all his powers are getting extinguished and that Krishna, has already stepped on my hood and taken away, he is beat out. Krishna was just stamping and pounding on Kaliya's hood and was leaving him at a devastated state. And by just constantly stamping on the hoods of Kaliya, Krishna was making Kaliya vomit out all of his deadly poison. So then, by being pleased with the heartfelt appeal of the Nagapatni, the Nagapatni by Kaliya's wives, Krishna very mercifully told Kaliya that I will leave you, I will pardon you, I will excuse you, but you must leave from here. You must go off into the ocean and no longer trouble the inhabitants of Vrindavan. So Kaliya said, yes, my lord, I will leave the waters of the Jamuna immediately and I will go away. So then, we all know how and why Kaliya was staying there. I won't get into all the details, but then Kaliya requested Krishna, and this was all happening underwater. So when Krishna went off underwater and he was fighting with Kaliya, and just sometimes he was just, submerging, and he was coming, and then, all the cowherd boys, they were in so much anxiety that they were seeing Krishna entwined in the grasp of Kaliya. They were seeing that Krishna was, boxing and, pounding at Kaliya, but he was completely intertwined in the, the pangs of Kaliya, the serpent. And seeing that, sometimes when Krishna would come onto the surface of the Jamuna and then again would dive back, seeing all of this, the cowherd boys were shocked. Some of them fainted. Some of them went back to the village to get all the Brajbasis, Nanda Baba, Jashoda Maya, and said that, look what happened to Krishna, look what he is doing. And the entire Braj came on the banks of the Jamuna to see how their darling Kanha is doing. And Mother Jashoda, when she came, when she was sitting and seeing, where is my Krishna, where is my Krishna? Suddenly, just, from under the waters, Krishna came up in the hoods of Kaliya and then again dove back, and Mother Jashoda saw that sight, that dreadful sight of Krishna being interlocked within the grasp of Kaliya. And then she fainted. She just literally fainted. She thought that what is going to happen to my most delicate, tender child? He is in the grasp of this Kaliya, this deadly serpent. What is going to happen to him? Just imagining Krishna's condition, what he must be going through. Mother Jashoda, because of her, beautiful parental rasa, she completely fainted. She just fainted. And Nanda Baba and Balaram. Nanda Baba was also in very much anxiety, but Balaram came and was pacifying them that don't worry, Kanha is just going to come out. Right now, he will come out. Don't worry. Kaliya won't be able to harm our beloved Kanha. So, like this, when Balaram was assuring, but still, in spite of Balaram's assurance, the Brajbasis and Mother Jashoda continued to remain unconscious. But everybody was in deep anxiety for Krishna, that what is going to happen to our beloved Krishna. And then finally Krishna came out, because Kaliya told Krishna, he begged forgiveness from Krishna and said, my dear Lord, I beg you, the reason why I was staying here in Jamuna is because Garuda, he can't come here to Jamuna. And, I am scared to go out of the rivers of Jamuna, because as soon as I go out, Garuda, who is an enemy of the snake, he's going to come and kill me. He'll come and torture me. So that is why I'm hiding here in fear of Garuda. So then Krishna said that, my dear Kaliya, you do not have to fear Garuda anymore. I am going to dance on your hood, and the imprints of my lotus feet is going to stay on your hood. So because as soon as Garuda comes, he will see that my footprints are there on your hoods. Because of that, Garuda will never ever harm you. That is my promise to you. So then Kaliya was completely satisfied, and then Kaliya came up, of the waters of the Jamuna, and Krishna danced very beautifully. He is Nataraj, Natabara Shri Krishna, the most ecstatic dancer, the most elegant dancer. Krishna danced so beautifully on the hoods of Kaliya. And Kaliya was a very beautiful platform for Kaliya's hoods were a very beautiful platform for Krishna to dance on. And when Krishna came out like this from under the waters of the Jamuna, all the Brajbasis, they were shouting in jubilation that our Krishna is safe. And they were, watching Krishna with mesmerized eyes. And Balaram, he personally woke up Mother Jashoda and said, look, Maya, look at Kanha. He is dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. And Mother Jashoda, with loving eyes, she was just, looking at this most mesmerizing sight of Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. So beautifully, so elegantly, Krishna was dancing. And the devatas from the heavenly planets, they were showering flowers upon Krishna. The Gandharvas and Kinnaras were chanting and playing different beautiful musical instruments. And to all of that, Krishna was dancing. Such a beautiful vision to behold. And then Kaliya then came near the banks of the Jamuna, and Krishna jumped off the hoods of Kaliya and told Kaliya that now you leave from here. You go away from here and you go into the ocean. And don't be worried for Garuda, he will not harm you anymore. So Kaliya, along with his devoted wives, he left Jamuna for good. And it is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada that Kaliya went on to stay and is still staying currently in near the Fiji Islands, what we know today as the Fiji Islands. Kaliya is supposed to be residing over there in that particular part of the world. And that is the reason why when the ISKCON center at ISKCON Fiji was being set up, Srila Prabhupada said that the main deity at ISKCON Fiji will be that of Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. There's a very beautiful deity of Kaliya Krishna in this ISKCON center at ISKCON Fiji. Very beautiful. So after this entire Leela of Krishna subduing Kaliya, when Krishna came back, all the Brajavasis, they came and hugged Krishna. Nanda Baba was, smelling the hair of Krishna while Mother Jashoda was saying, Kanha, are you okay? She was embracing him so tightly. Krishna said, Maya, leave me, I'm getting squished. But Mother Jashoda, because of her, such heights of motherly affection, Mother Jashoda was hugging Krishna so tight. And while Mother Jashoda was hugging Krishna, Nanda Baba was smelling the fragrance from Krishna's hair out of his fatherly affection to Krishna. And everyone was so happy. Even the cows and the calves, they were, the calves were happily galloping. Have you seen the calves? They just, with all the four limbs, they literally jump, they jump like this, ting, 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 like that. So the calves, in great ecstasy, they were jumping around their mothers. And the cows, they were so happy and relieved seeing Krishna. They were mooing. And Krishna was so happy to see all the cows and to see all his cowherd friends. Even Srimati Radharani and the gopis had also come. So Krishna was so happy that the entire Braj had come to receive him after he came out of this victorious battle of subduing Kaliya. So by this time, it was already evening. The sun was already about to set. So Nanda Baba, being the king of Braj, Nanda Baba said to everybody that all of us, because it is about to be sunset, so all of us, let us just take rest here for the night on this beautiful banks of the Jamuna. We are also tired and drained out also because of our anxiety. So let us take rest here, because otherwise we have to cross so many forests to get into Gokul. So that will be difficult for us to do that. So let us take rest here for tonight. And once we take rest here, then tomorrow morning we will go back to the village. So everybody agreed, and they actually kept Krishna in the center, and they made 5 circles of protection around Krishna. See, Krishna is the ultimate protector. For every situation, every circumstances, the Brajavasis very well know this, that Krishna is their only protector. But out of their, supreme love for Krishna, they feel so much protective of Krishna that they protected him by keeping him in the center. The first circle that surrounded Krishna was Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya. They were there first. Then they were surrounded by the cowherd boys. The cowherd boys were surrounding Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya. Then behind the cowherd boys were the elderly gopis, the mothers of the cowherd boys. Behind the mothers were the shy gopis. The gopis were seeking shelter of their mothers, and they were just behind their mothers. Then behind the mothers were the protective cowherd men, the strong men of Braj, who were with their lathis and their sticks and their bows and arrows. They were protecting Krishna. And then beyond them were the cows. The cows and the calves were doing the final protection, and the circle comprised of more stronger men who had not only just sticks and bows and arrows, but they also had swords in their hand. So they were the more stronger men of Vraj who were protecting, and they were the final line of protection. So in this way, Krishna was in the center, and all of them were surrounding Krishna. Very beautiful circle. The devatas were witnessing this, and they were getting a beautiful, vyuha kind of, protection for Krishna. Very beautiful. And everyone was very tired, so most of the Brajbasis had gone to sleep. But Krishna was awake. He was sitting because Srimati Radharani was also awake. And so were some of the cowherd boyfriends of Krishna. And Bhattacharya and Nanda Baba, the elderly people, they had, kind of started taking rest. But Srimati Radharani was casting her sidelong glance upon Krishna, and Krishna was also casting sidelong glance upon Srimati Radharani. And it is explained that when Srimati Radharani was her sidelong glance at Krishna, the lotus flower of Krishna's eyes would open up. And that would prompt Krishna to look at Srimati Radharani. And when Srimati Radharani was looked upon by Krishna, the lotus gaze of Krishna, out of shyness, her lotus-like eyes would close. So this was the opening and the closing of the lotus that was going on in the form of their vision. Very beautiful exchange that was going on between Krishna and Srimati Radharani. So even the subduing of kaliya, and this very pleasant sight, this very pleasant moment was suddenly interrupted, because the protectors who were on the outer circle, they noticed that a brilliant light was coming their way. It was coming their way as if it felt like, like millions and millions upon elephants were charging towards them. And they couldn't figure out what's happening. And then they just gave everyone alert. Wake up, look, what's happening? And then one of them said, it's fire. There is a forest fire that has broken out. And the word reached Krishna. And when forest fire spreads, it spreads in matter of moments. It doesn't take a moment to burn down an entire forest. Fire travels very quickly, very, very quickly, devastating an entire forest in its way. So Krishna, everyone, all the protectors who were there on the outer circle, they all immediately said, Trahimam Krishna, protect us. Oh Krishna, please protect us. And Krishna just saw that even his the protectors from the outermost circle, the little cows and the calves who are so dear to Krishna, they were also feeling anxious, and they were all moving towards Krishna. They were all, simultaneously coming closer and closer to Krishna in the circle. And Krishna immediately, in a thunderous voice, Krishna said, my dear Brajabasis, do not fear. I request all of you, please close your eyes. Just close your eyes. As soon as Krishna ordered the Brajabasis to close their eyes, they did not think, even for a moment. Each and every one of them closed their eyes. And Krishna went, just that. He just swallowed the entire forest fire in his mouth. He just went, just like that. Just like how we take a spoon of hot soup in our mouth. Just like that, Krishna swallowed the entire forest fire. And it all happened within a moment, and Krishna said, okay, now you can open your eyes. And everyone opened their eyes, and they saw that again it was so beautiful. It was, Purnamasi, it was, Purnima night, it was a full moon night, and they all started, glorifying Krishna. Kanha, thank you for saving us from the dreadful forest fire. And within a few minutes, then the sun arose on the eastern horizon and all of them went back to the village. So like this, Krishna himself saved the Brajbasis from the very, very dangerous, devastating forest fire. But imagine, in this kind of situation, when we know that a fire is coming towards us, or when any kind of danger is coming towards us, if someone tells us, close your eyes, closing eyes means that we are showing our utter faith, our utter dependence, our 100% dependence on the person who has told us to close our eyes. It's not easy to do it. It takes great amount of faith. It takes great amount of surrender to close our eyes at that, crucial moment. But the Brajbasis, they did not even have an inkling of doubt in the words of Krishna. As soon as Krishna said, close your eyes, they immediately closed their eyes and they just followed the instructions of Krishna. So, in this same way, Krishna, being Karuna Sindhu, the ocean of mercy, was able to personally swallow down the forest fire. He was able to devour it personally.